730 Talk. All of us are here to help.
CTI is the only internet company that offers a price lock for life on gig-by-gig residential fiber internet at $69.95 per month. You can't control most costs, but you can control the price of your internet. Sign up by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. With over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming weekdays and 2 hours on Saturdays, WTIM, AM, FM, and online is your ag information station. Listen by tuning in on air or online and listen to WTIM Ag podcasts anytime.
Your information station, WTIM.
And we're back around with the WTIM morning show here on your information station. It's brought to you by People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm Grayson Bauman, and joining me now is Steve Craigs and Lee Skinner. They're with Small Town Taylorville. Good morning to you, gentlemen. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Good morning, Grayson.
Glad to be had, and I appreciate that. And so thank you for joining me here this morning. And so we're talking Small Town Taylorville, and I'd like to start with maybe some past events, kind of filling in folks on what's been taking place over the last couple months. And Steve, take me wherever we need to go with that.
Oh, thank you, Grayson. Small Town Taylorville is organization has been developed over the years to promote our entire city of Taylorville, and it does a fabulous job of really bringing forward all the goodness that we have in our small town. Recently, we've had an event that was called Out with the Old, In with the New. It was our spring sale. That was a very popular event, and we had over 20 merchants participating in that throughout the city. Attracted a lot of folks in from out of town, and that's part of the point, is to really get the focus regionally on Taylorville, is to bring shoppers in. When those shoppers come in, guess what else they do? They eat at our restaurants. They buy our gas, and they take our goods and services from our entire town, which is all the point of Small Town Taylorville. And we have a lot of stuff upcoming, Grayson, which is just fabulous. First of all, what's Friday?
Well, Friday is Valentine's Day, I believe.
Have you got your gift spot yet?
Well, if I had a special person, maybe I would. But, this year I get to save a few dollars. That's how we're going to look at it, Steve.
Well, we have a lot of shops with some really neat specials around. So if you check out our Small Town Taylorville Facebook page, you're going to find our restaurants with all kinds of little things that you just love to have, like a I think it's a Cupid pizza.
Yeah,
what
I did see.
serving.
Yeah, I
Isn't
did see
that
that.
awesome. I didn't even know that they made like a heart-shaped Cupid pizza.
Nice,
right?
Very nice.
And the stores have got all kinds of specials around town. So please check out our Facebook page. Small Town Taylorville Facebook page has got all of the events that are happening around our city, which come from various places. I was just even looking on here that something I hadn't seen was a kids' night out coming up on Friday, March 14th. It's going to be at the Taylorville High School, and it's sponsored by the Student Council. And that's a pretty neat event.
Yeah. And don't forget, for Valentine's Day, all you men need flowers. Southern Belle Florists, they do a great job right here in
They
town.
do. That's
Southern Belle Florist.
That's
Southern Belle
important,
Florist.
That's just as important as it is the food taking them out to eat. So
I need to make that call today.
yes, I think you should.
Well, and here's the deal. I might not have a person in my life in that regard, but I do have a mom, and so I don't want to forget about
That's
her.
exactly
She should
right.
absolutely. And if you don't out there, don't forget about the moms and maybe sisters out there as well. Kids Night Out, you're getting the Student Council involved with that as well. Is that a big part for you guys, as well as getting local organizations as well involved, like a Student Council?
Absolutely. That's hugely important. We've interfaced with the FFA on several occasions. They came and parked cars down at our car show. Lee's going to talk about that a little bit. The FFA crowd or the club actually repackages dog and cat food for Fur Love, which then goes out to our food bank. And we're going to talk about the food bank here in just a couple of minutes. So yeah, absolutely. Interfacing with our school is extremely important for Small Town Taylorville, and emphasizing all the wonderful groups that we have down at that school, with madrigals and the music program and pretty much anything you can think of, our sports programs, et cetera.
And that's all I could, when you talk about being an organization, is getting involved in the community, is with those other organizations that are there. And also you're kind of, I would say, leading kids, or in these cases, kind of the right way, giving them another opportunity to give back. And that's a big part of FFA, a big part of Student Council.
That's right.
So I love hearing that. So we talked about out with the old, in with the new. We've got Kids Night Out coming up. Are there any more coming up events that we'd like to highlight?
We really would. Yes. March 8th. Put that on your calendar. That's the Legacy of Leaders in downtown Taylorville. and that is a progressive snacking event, kind of like a progressive dinner, but it's a progressive snacking event that's going to be in downtown Taylorville. Now, that has been put together by Barbara Westrick. Barbara is a wonderful community member, and she has been a real strong backbone of our community forever, and as her family has been. So she and her son, Michael White, have put together this event. Michael owns Client Focus Media, and he's coming up out of Florida. He's excited to come back to Taylorville. He's done extremely well for himself with a media company. They're putting on this event to honor some of the recent leaders who have really helped our city out. Bill Hopper, Bill Kennedy, all the Berry brothers, Bill, Dan, John, and I don't want to forget one more. How about Larry? There we go. We got to remember Larry. And then we're going to also honor the two guys that founded CTI Tech, Adam and Billy. And that legacy of leaders is there to honor them. And then it's a progressive snacking event that'll start at Anderson Jewelers with a charcuterie board and snacking. It'll go to Fur Love, where we're going to have 3 to 5 food vendors there. Those are going to be Bill's Toasties serving cheeseburger sliders. Yeah, that's going to be good. You can finish it off with a little dessert from Country Kitchen. We've got multiple cheesecakes coming from Benny's wife at Country Kitchen, and they knock it out of the park there, don't they?
They do, absolutely.
And then LP Creamery will be in there with all kinds of famous coffee drinks and different types of drinks. I think he said a lemonade and different flavored teas. And then we've got 2 other potential vendors that we're looking at bringing in there too. Then it moves over to Nesty's, where we've got entertainment and all kinds of snacks at Nesty's, which is always fabulous. They have some of the best snacking food you could want.
Yeah.
And then we're going over to Florenda's. And Florenda's has got the side room set up. It's going to be the finale of the event, and it should be a really good event. March 8th, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. And if you'd like to register for that, you can go to our Small Town Taylorville Facebook page, and you'll find the legacy of leaders at the top here posted shortly, and then they can click into that, and then they can buy their tickets.
Okay, perfect. I was just about to ask where they might get involved with that. Now, is that something you have to be a member to be involved with, or is that open to the public?
That is open to the public. And here's the real kicker. The proceeds from this event are going to the food bank. And so the company that one of the companies that Michael has is called Foodies Inc. And of course, that has to do with feeding the world, right? So he's coming in with a wonderful company. He's bringing his production company in.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have a full-on production here in Taylorville through Client Focus Media. And much thanks to Barbara Westrick and to Michael White for coming in and producing this event for us. It is going to be a backbone event, and it'll be an annual event that'll be redone year by year and getting bigger and bigger every single year.
Just adding more vendors, and also the success of this year can also play a big role in future success for it. Mm-hmm. And thanks for taking me through progressive dinner or progressive snacking as we're doing in this go of things, because I was going to have to ask, what's that quite mean? Are we just going down a table and we're starting here? But no, we're going from place to place. And getting those folks involved, are they Small Town Taylorville members? Or again, is that somebody, how let's ask this instead. How are you getting prospective businesses to join Small Town Taylorville and to be a part of it? And why is it so important? What can you bring to the table for those organizations?
Absolutely. Well, and the members that are certainly have been invited, and we have a lot of them that are participating in this event that have already signed up, no doubt about it. I think we have over probably close to 30 at this point that have signed up just for this particular event, Small Town Taylorville members. We welcome any business in Taylorville to join Small Town Taylorville.
That's right.
And it's there to promote our city and our individual businesses and have an impact on a region. Now, we have over a $60-some thousand marketing budget that we have put together from the memberships that we actually charge a membership fee now. And then we've had some wonderful contributions out of some significant folks to help build that level up.
Right.
The Berry brothers, the Westricks, Fur Love have all donated to build that level of marketing up. So now we have Facebook media out there on a regular basis, which is paid for media. So we're reaching a 90-mile radius audience with that. And it's significant because you'll see on the Facebook page, we're penetrating 100,000 people a month through Small Town Taylorville's Facebook page, directed to our website. which then services at least 30,000 annual visitors, where they're turning pages too. They're not just popping in and popping out. They're there for 3 to 5 pages worth. We also market through your company. And we have a click on banner for Small Town Taylorville on WTIM and on the Miller Media Group, which we sincerely appreciate. And this radio show does that too. We've recently pushed back into the Buzz magazine and the Illinois Times.
Okay.
And we have a significant presence on there. Every single month, you'll see us in one or the other. So Small Town Taylorville is there to reach a very large audience within our region and direct the consumer to Taylorville, because we're competing with other towns. And we welcome the competition because we think we've got something special to offer.
Yes.
And it's a healthy competition, so there's no problem there. And also, when you think about it, having a 90-mile radius or being in an Illinois Times type of environment, you're able to bring those folks in, which is the main focus. People in Taylorville already know about Taylorville or should know about the businesses here, but it's getting folks outside of Taylorville involved and interested in it.
I think what Small Town Taylorville was created here, the advertising is unmatched by anything out there. And we see other communities locally trying to come here and asking us, what are you guys doing to drive business here? And it's called location envy is what we've created here. So you got other towns saying, I want to be part of what you're doing. So we're trying to encourage other towns to maybe open up a restaurant here in Taylorville, even though they may have one 50 miles from here. We want them to come here too, because we're bringing the people here. So we've built the platform for businesses to move in town because the customers and clientele are already here, and it's unmatched by anything out there. So if you are listening to this broadcast and you want to be part of Small Town Taylorville, get on our Facebook page, send us a message, or you can call me on my cell phone number is 217-416-2335. We would get you in contact with the correct people.
Well, Lee and Steve Craigs joining us here on the WTIM Morning Show. Gentlemen, we better take our first break here. We'll talk more Small Town Taylorville when we come back on WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Let's check the markets on the RFD Radio Network. I'm DeLawes Yonke. Slightly higher opening has turned lower for soybeans and wheat. Corn still up about a penny. March up 1 3/4, 4.89 1/4. May up 1 1/2, 5.02. July up 1, 5.05 1/2. March soybeans down 1 3/4, 10.47 3/4. May down 1 3/4, 10.63 3/4. July down 1 3/4, 10.79 1/4. March wheat down 5 1/4, 5.77 1/2. KC down 4 1/2. 5.99 3/4. Higher for livestock. April lean hogs up 20, 92.35. April live cattle up 152, 198.30. March feeders up 175, 266.65. Crude oil up 74 cents. The Dow up 129. RFD Radio Network.
Did you know that despite the damaging effects of ultraviolet rays to eyes and vision, 40% of U.S. adults do not wear sunglasses while outdoors? Unprotected exposure to the sun increases the risk for serious vision problems. Dr. Smothers Champley and Dr. Craigs at Advanced Eye Care in Taylorville are trained in protecting your eyes from the sun's harmful UV rays with proper protective eyewear. Advanced Eye Care offers fashion lines from Ray-Ban, Vera Wang, Nike, Coach, and more. Call Advanced Eye Care today at 824-4991. Advanced Eye Care, modern eye care, old-fashioned caring.
People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, are proud to continue their long-standing sponsorship of honoring Taylorville High School Students of the Month on WTIM's many platforms on AM, FM, and streamed online, and on WMKR Genuine Country 94.3.
Hi, my name is Hope Kitzman. I'm the THS Sophomore Student of the Month. My parents are Sarah and Kevin Kitzman. I am a member of the THS basketball and softball team. I'm also involved in Key Club, Student Council, and Unified Tornadoes through the high school. When I am not in my activities, I enjoy spending time with friends and baking. After high school, I plan to attend college and get a degree in sports business management.
People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, salutes these great Taylorville High School students on this honor and wish them the best in their future. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Pastor Brian Moore here from Locust Grove Church near Assumption. We are alive and so worth the drive. Find directions to our church and watch our video podcast by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Agriculture is our largest industry. Your agriculture information station is WTIM, AM, FM, and online. Tune in or stream WTIM's over 8 hours a day of ag information featuring our local farm broadcaster to be in the know.
Your information station, WTIM.
And we are back around with the WTIM Morning Show, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman, and joining me for this last segment here is Steve Craigs and Lee Skinner as part of Small Town Taylorville. Let's focus, Lee, on what is coming up on your side of things, and if you would fill listeners in on what you got going on there.
Well, we've nailed down the dates for the Small Town Taylorville Car Cruise, which we're always excited about. Lots of folks come to town just for this event. Lots of cars. We have cars that drive 2 to 3 hours away just to come to this event. So the dates are May through October, first Friday of every month, except for October is the second Friday because Chili Fest takes first place there on the first weekend. So we moved that to the second one, and we dress up. Me and Steve usually do for Halloween. So that's usually a trunk or treat car cruise in October.
Okay.
So been working behind the scenes, been trying to get the flying flamingos here. So what they have done is they took this jet airplane, cut it in half, and turned it into a truck. And they go from different car cruises around, and they let you tour this thing. It looks like a jet on wheels. And
sounds like a jet on wheels.
It is really cool. So I've been texting him behind the scenes for a couple of years. People get him in advance for 2 and 3 years in advance. So we're working on trying to get him. And then the Oscar Mayer Wiener Mobile, we've been trying to get those folks too. I've been corresponding with those, but they too are solidly booked pretty much for a lot of car crews. So we'll keep working on them, see what we can do. But the car cruise has always been fantastic for the city. And what's great about it too is folks come from all over, not just to see the car cruise, bring their cars, but they come to shop too as well. And to eat for sure. So a lot of the restaurants benefit from this. A lot of the gas stations here in Christian County, even the small towns. I had the mayor of Morrisonville text me one day and said, Lee, thank you. I got about 5 cars sitting here filling up their tanks, and I know they're going to your car cruise. So that benefits our town too. So thank you for that. So I think that's great. Everybody's benefiting from these car cruises. I know J.I. from Angelo's, he always gets packed before or after the car cruise because they do little dinner dates on those days too. So,
Well, we have, I think average is around 140 cars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
that's a lot of cars in attendance. And, regionally, we have the largest attended consistent car show in the region, no doubt
Right.
about it. And we've had other towns try to compete to a certain extent.
they
But
are.
folks come here because guess what they love? That historic downtown. We got the tunes playing up top with usually some 70s music or 60s music, right?
Yeah.
And they come in with all kinds of rigs.
Yes, it's encouraged a lot of folks here in town to even go out and buy their car they had in high school or their dream car.
Yeah.
Steve's one of them. I'm one. I bought an old Trans Am I'm working on too. So it's inspired a lot of people to do a lot of things. And I've had families walking around and their grandsons or something like that. Grandpa, maybe we could get a car. We could work on it too. So it's inspired people to draw closer as a family, maybe to work on their own car so that maybe they could bring it up to the square too. So I can see this event taking place from years on out.
And not only benefiting Taylorville, but the surrounding communities in terms of other additionals. With just about a minute to go here, Lee, there was one other event I wanted to touch on here before we let you go.
Yes, our spring open house is coming up March 21st and 22nd. That's a Friday and Saturday. That gives a lot of businesses in town to showcase the new items that they've got in their store that they, bringing people to town to get a shop. And, you don't want to keep that same old stagnant stuff in. So that's where the out with the old, in with the new came in. So it makes room for the new stuff coming up. I know a lot of businesses in here in town's got a lot of things coming in right now, showcasing that stuff. So I encourage you to come to that town. It's always a great shopping event, and there's always good food to eat too as well.
Small Town Taylorville, easy to reach, easy to find, whether it's on Facebook or whether it's by reaching out to Lee or Steve personally, or just going to businesses and being a part of Small Town Taylorville is just as easy. We talked legacy of leaders, car cruise, the spring kickoff, out with the old, in with the new. We also talked kids night out. So much stuff going on with Small Town Taylorville. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here on the WTIM Morning Show. And thank you out there for listening as well. And with sponsors like People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville, this has been your WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Payne and Nokomis.